News in detail. Thank you for joining me. Lawyers for Mapeto, David Whitehead and Sons have obtained an injunction stopping proceedings of an alleged tax evasion case involving some of the company's top officials. Defense lead lawyer John Gift Mwakwawa served the court with the injunction while hearing was in session. The injunction is staying the proceeding pending judicial review on the decision by Chief Resident Magistrate Jean Kaira to deny the defense a 30-day adjournment.
Defense lawyers asked the Chief Resident Magistrate's Court in Blantyre to adjourn for a minimum of 30 days for them to prepare well for the case before trial starts. This is the case where top officials at the Mapeto, David Whitehead and Sons, and the Malawi Revenue Authority are being accused of defrauding government 16 billion kwacha through tax evasion. The lawyers wanted the adjournment on grounds that they need more time to go through case documents that were served to them by state 30 days later than time required by the court, among others. Chief Resident Magistrate Jean Kaira, however, refused to grant them their wish and ordered that the state proceed with parading witnesses. Few minutes after first witnesses started testifying, defense lead lawyer John Gift Mwakwawa rose and produced an injunction obtained from High Court Judge Justice Vikochi Chima. The injunction stopped the court from proceeding with the case pending judicial review of Magistrate Kaira's refusal to grant defense the 30 days adjournment. Director of Public Prosecution, Dr. Stephen Kayuni, says will respond on what has happened at the High Court.
We are satisfied with how the matter is proceeding. However, for the stay that has been granted, we'll have to go to the High Court and address the Honorable Court and see how the matter proceeds from there.
Chief Resident Magistrate Kaira has since adjourned the matter indefinitely.
Malawi Electoral Commission says lack of monitoring and evaluation framework at the commission has over the years been affecting the commission's mandate to be accountable to the citizenry. MEC Chairperson Justice Dr. Chifundo Kachali said in Salima at a monitoring and evaluation framework formulation that as an institution with public interest, there is need for accountability and good judgment of its activities to gain public trust. Meanwhile, International Foundation for Electoral Systems Election Management Programs Advisor Pavel Kabasenko says monitoring and evaluation too is critical for the commissions to bring better and quality elections. Joseph Mazizi has filed this report.
Senior officials from the Malawi Electoral Commission are in Salima developing a monitoring and evaluation framework which they say is critical to improve the Commission's service delivery to the public. MEC Chairperson Justice Dr. Chifundo Kachali says this framework will also help the Commission to ensure it is accountable to the citizens, at the same time ensuring value for money.
This is for us as an Electoral Commission a very important step because for the first time we are going to be developing tools that are going to help us to do a systematic institutional monitoring and evaluation framework that can actually help us to measure the effectiveness of our activities and also help us to manage how we deploy our resources and our people more effectively, to help us anticipate some of the challenges when we're implementing our programs. So we would say that this is very significant and we are delighted that it can happen now.
Meanwhile, International Foundation for Electoral Systems, IFES, Election Management Program Advisor Pavel Kabachenko says having such a tool, the Commission will be able to effectively conduct quality elections.
It is an important tool which will help Commission to bring a better quality election, to be more effective in what they're doing and align their activities with the strategic objectives, mission and vision of the Commission.
The monitoring and evaluation framework will also help make in its establishment of the Monitoring and Evaluation Department, which is new at the Commission. Reporting for Zodiak from Salima, I am Joseph Mazizi.
Some religious leaders in the country have taken a swipe at government's hypocrisy when regulating the number of people in public gatherings as per COVID-19 set rules. Speaking through an online press briefing facilitated by MISA Malawi, Episcopal Conference of Malawi ECM Secretary General Father Henry Saindi said, for instance, political leaders have been convening rallies with bloated numbers of attendants. Muslim counterpart Sheikh Omar Nkachilenga from Muslim Association of Malawi, while echoing ACM's sentiments, called on Malawians to get vaccinated for the country to win the fight against the pandemic. Lilongwe District Council has unveiled plans towards improving the revenue mobilization base in the 2021-2022 financial year. These include construction of a shopping complex and development of a housing estate. The council's chief economist, Dumisani Chiwala, says 11 projects have so far been implemented using close to 235 million kwacha that was allocated in the 2020-2021 financial year. Chimwampadata filed this report.
In the 2020-2021 financial year, according to the chief economist for Lilongwe District Council, Dumisani Chiwala, 11 projects that were earmarked have been implemented using the 235 million kwacha funds the council was allocated. But in the current 2021-2022 financial year, the council is working on a 3.9 billion kwacha budget that will see the establishment of a housing estate and development of shopping mall plans, among other projects that are in the council's 5-year development plan. During the engagement with stakeholders, the council also unveiled long-term revenue mobilization strategies that include hiking market fees. The council's director of finance, Charles Mhone, however, complained of a number of challenges, including working on a thin budget and delays to issue funds.
30% of GSED resources should go towards revenue generating activities. So if in next year we get 1 billion from GSED, it means 30% can go towards even construction of the shopping complex.
A representative of the stakeholders, Alik Maki, said the engagement will shape future implementation of projects under Lilongwe District Council.
Yeah, that's true. Because actually, when you are out there, you don't know what is happening inside the council. Most of the times, people there know that district councils, they are not working on the ground. What they are doing actually is actually misusing and mismanaging the resources that has been ushered to them.
Lilongwe District Council serves a projected population of close to 1.8 million people. This is Chimwemwe Padata for Zodiac.
Parliamentary Committee on Health and Society of Medical Doctors says Central Medical Stores Trust has been captured by pharmaceutical trade cartels, resulting in acute shortage of drugs being experienced in public hospitals in the country. Chairperson of the committee, Dr. Matthew Ngwali, and President of the Society, Dr. Victor Miti, said in View's Triangle program here on Zodiac that Malawi needs a quick solution to the problem, which has a potential to cost many lives if left as things are at the moment. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Committee on Health will soon summon officials from the Central Medical Stores and Ministry of Health for a deep understanding of what is going on. Andrew Viano, part of this report.
For close to a month now, the country's government hospitals have been experiencing critical shortages of medicines. While Health Ministry admit about the challenge and assures Malawians that it is in the process of procuring the drugs, some stakeholders suggest the problem is too deep. Speaking through Zodiac's Views Triangle on Sunday, Parliamentary Committee on Health Chairperson Dr. Matthew Ngwali says a few individuals are inflating prices of drugs for Central Medical Stores Trust. Dr. Ngwali says in turn, the resources allocated towards procurement of drugs are never enough.
When the
Ministry of Health receives their annual funding, it seems all is rosy. But amidst the financial year, hospitals run out of drugs.
Society of Medical Doctors President Dr. Victor Miti shares the same view.
There is a cartel so that some few individuals should overcharge price of drugs for Central Medical Stores Trust, which is very bad.
Meanwhile, health rights activist Maziko Matemba says the situation needs immediate intervention.
Buy Malawi has now become a thorn in the flesh, especially in supply of drugs at Central Medical Stores Trust.
Recently, Health Minister Kumbizeka Ndodochiponda said her ministry has outsourced 1.5 billion kwacha towards procurement of essential drugs for public hospitals.
And you're watching News on Zodiac. We'll be right back shortly. Stand by.
Hello and welcome to the final tobacco sales update for the 2021 tobacco marketing season. Tobacco sales in the just ended season took 21 weeks compared to 19 weeks in the 2020 season. Increased volume of traded tobacco and better average prices in the 2021 tobacco marketing season had a positive impact on the earnings compared to the revenue realized in 2020. A total of 123.7 million kilograms of all tobacco types were sold, from which $197.1 million was generated this year. In the 2020 marketing season, 114 million kilograms of tobacco were sold, from which the country realized a total of $174.97 million. The seasonal average price of all tobacco types was high at $1.59 per kg at the end of the season this year, compared to $1.53 per kg recorded at the end of last year's season. The seasonal cumulative no-sale rejection on the auction belly market was lower at 11% this year compared to 66% registered at the end of the season last year. AHL Tobacco Sales would like to thank all stakeholders for their support throughout the 2021 tobacco marketing season. Thanks so much for joining us.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Wow, hi Nancy.
Yeah.
Wow, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
But how have you managed to have this beautiful and well-stocked shop, Nancy?
My friend, these things don't come on a silver platter.
Tell me about it.
You need to invest. I had to grow my money. I grew every single penny that I made out of my monthly savings. You know what? Sometimes you don't just have to use all the money that you get. You really need to make an investment. So, yeah, this is it.
Where do I start? I get so little money and I'm thinking that, is it possible to reach this far?
My friend, it doesn't mean that you should have all the money in the world. Come on. You can save even the little money that you get each month. There are so many ways of making an investment.
Really?
Yes, this could be investing in financial assets. You can make fixed and savings deposits with commercial banks. You can buy an insurance policy. You can invest in treasury bills. You can also invest in physical assets like commodities or property.
Make a decision today. Invest your money to accomplish your goals.
UNICAF University, September to October 2021 intake. Special scholarships available at UNICAF University for bachelor, master's, and doctoral degree programs. UNICAF University is accredited nationally by the NCHE and internationally by the British Accreditation Council in the UK. Enroll for internationally recognized degrees at a fraction of the cost. Feel safe knowing that your online studies with UNICAF University will not be disrupted by measures for the pandemic. From enrollment to graduation, everything runs smoothly online. Don't miss this golden opportunity. This offer is valid until the end of October 2021. So apply today and get a free tablet when you register and pay the required deposit. WhatsApp 0993 907 002 or go to www.unicafuniversity.ac.mw to find out more.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the headlines as we continue the news. Mapeto David Whitehead and Sons lawyers obtained injunction halting proceedings of an alleged tax evasion case pending judicial review. MEC concedes its core mandate is being compromised with the absence of monitoring and evaluation framework. Malawi Police Service accused of continued failure to meet the 40-hour, 8-hour rule on taking suspects to court. And in business, Malawi rakes in 158 billion kwacha from 2021 tobacco sales, up from 140 billion kwacha realized last year. Those are the headlines. And moving on, the Malawi Police Service has been faulted for continued failure to meet the 48-hour rule for criminal suspects to appear in court from the time of their arrest. During a visit to Kanengo Police Station, first-grade magistrate Mediasi Thompson condemned the tendency and granted bail to some suspects who had overstayed in police cells. Kanengo Police Station Prosecution Officer Senior Superintendent Eunice Kafamveka say challenges such as delays in police investigations contribute to the failure.
20-year-old Yamikanika Jingwe, who stays at Nsungwe in Lilongwe, is one of the suspects that have been granted bail at Kanengo Police Station after staying in police cell for over 48 hours. He was picked by police last week for failure to settle a 4,500 kwacha debt. First-grade magistrate Medias Thompson visited the police station to assess cases of suspects through the Access to Justice project. He says the project is crucial in decongesting prisons and police cells amid the COVID-19 pandemic and protecting human rights.
Those who have released today are people who committed minor offenses. So we felt that they shouldn't consume space in our cells. Yeah, the other reason for having these functions is to check abuse of power and to ensure that the law is being followed, especially the 48-hour rule.
But Kanengo Police Station Prosecution Officer Senior Superintendent Eunice Kafamveka said challenges such as delays in police investigations contribute to the failure.
They go beyond 48-hour rule. Maybe it's because of the investigations. Some other cases are complicated for the investigators to have ample time to investigate. However, if the investigator do realize that the case will take them more than 48 hours, they normally give us the file so that the file should be brought to the accused and should be brought before court within the space of 48 hours for him or her to be informed of the reasons why he or she is in custody and the reasons why she will remain in custody, maybe if there is a need of investigations and the like.
Central Region Team Leader for Paralegal Advisory Service Institute, Alfred Muniga, says through the project, thousands of suspects in criminal matters have accessed free legal support. The project is being implemented with support from the United Nations Development Programme UNDP and the European Union. This is Winston Kaimira reporting for Zodiak in Lilongwe.
In business news, AHL Group says final analysis of the 2021 tobacco marketing season shows general positive outlook, with farmers realizing close to 158 billion kwacha, passing the 140 billion kwacha realized at the end of the 2020 season. AHL Group spokesperson Teresa Ndanga says the season has ended after 21 weeks selling 123.7 million kilograms. At the close of the season, the rejection rate is said to have dropped from 66 to 11% this season. Nom Kobi, this report.
The 2021 tobacco marketing season closed after 21 weeks of sales. Cumulatively, a total of 123.7 million kilograms of all tobacco types were sold, generating $197.1 million, an equivalent of about 158 billion kwacha. The revenue generated has increased from $174.97 million, an equivalent of about 140 billion kwacha, realized from 114 million kilograms in 2020. AHL Group spokesperson Teresa Ndanga says the just ended season was successful as the average price rose to $1.59 per kilogram from $1.53 last season. Reacting to the revenue generated, Tama Farmers Trust President Ebo Kalimabanda says while the country is celebrating, most tobacco farmers have nothing in their pockets. He claims there are a lot of challenges in the industry which need to be addressed if the revenue generated would translate to farmers' transformation. Tobacco remains Malawi's major foreign exchange earner. For Zodiak, this is Noah Nkubwi reporting.
The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has written the Office of the President and Cabinet to provide an explanation on how the presidential jet was disposed of during the reign of former President Joyce Banda. Chairperson of the committee, Shadrack Namalomba, says the interest on the deal is coming following a mist of how proceeds from the sale were used. He said response from Treasury after the committee's inquest indicates they never handled any transaction of the disposal. Happy Njeramano has more.
The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, Shadrack Namalomba, says they have asked Treasury to give all information about the presidential jet sale. Namalomba says Treasury responded by referring them to Office of the President and Cabinet, saying Treasury does not know anything about the disposal of the presidential jet.
As we were closing our meetings, I think that should be 2 weeks ago, the issue was that now Parliament Secretariat, to draft another letter to submit to Office of the President and Cabinet. I'm yet to check if that letter has already been dispatched. If not, then I'll have to ensure that that letter is delivered to the Office of the President and Cabinet.
Namalomba added that the committee also intends to find out from former President Joyce Banda about the sale.
A public inquiry of this nature requires that the people that have been mentioned must be invited so that they also provide their side of the story. Surely, I cannot rule out inviting the former head of state to appear before Public Accounts Committee.
The Treasury is yet to respond on the matter. Malawi leaders have been using chartered and commercial planes since 2013 when the presidential jet was sold during Dr. Joyce Banda's regime.
In news from across the borders, campaign group Human Rights Watch says authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo repeatedly ignored security warnings which preceded a prison riot last year in which inmates raped dozens of female detainees, including a teenage girl. About 2,000 detainees of Kasapa prison in the city of Lubumbashi rioted in September 2020, setting buildings on fire and attacking female inmates for 3 days. Several of the victims became pregnant and some contracted HIV. Security forces reportedly shot dead at least 20 people during the riot. A year on, Human Rights Watch has called for an investigation so that those responsible for the abuses are prosecuted. It says survivors must be given medical care and mental health support. And that's how we conclude this edition of news. And before we go, a look at the headlines one more time. Mapeto David Whitehead and Sons lawyers obtained injunction halting proceedings of an alleged tax evasion case pending judicial review. MEC concedes its core mandate is being compromised with the absence of monitoring and evaluation framework. Malawi Police Service accused of continued failure to meet the 48-hour rule on taking suspects to court. And in business news, Malawi rakes in 158 billion kwacha from 2021 tobacco sales, up from 140 billion kwacha realized last year. Visit our website zodiacmalawi.com for more news. This is Sibongere Ziambo. Thank you for watching and goodbye.